Welcome back to Cats Being Kind Dodgy Volume 4. This bloke has mastered the art of the water cooler. Next thing you know, he'll be standing around it, banging on about last night's episode of Loki instead of working. At least use a cup. Drinking directly from the tap is grounds for instant dismissal.
Yummy, 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 gonna have food in my tummy.
What's going on?
Oh, this wall is nicely painted.
Oh, are you gonna eat me?
It's definitely had 2 coats, maybe even 3.
You know we're pets. We're meant to be friends. Leslie wants to see us get along.
Fine.
Aussie Man fan Mary sent us this clip. Her cat has adapted to gyms being closed in lockdown. It's found a way to still do 10,000 steps. Sure, all your clothes are going to end up covered in cat hair, but I feel like most cat people are used to that shit anyway. What the fuck? How is that possible? This cat is a reptile. It's a bloody snake cat. How the hell does it fit through gaps like that? When did cats become invertebrates? This is weird. I'm a little freaked out. Have a look at the other bastard, the two-toned coloured cat. It's completely unfazed. It sees this shit every Tuesday. No worries. Oh, wait. He's a little threatened. That's annoying. Who pops a plug hole out of someone's desk? The human has to reach over and put it back in? Okay, back to work. Fuck off. Tell the cat you specifically want the plug kept in. Respect the boundaries. Super glue it. Use your highly evolved human brain to outsmart the feline. Gaffer tape it down. Do what you have to do. Okay, buy a new desk. Oh, hey everyone, how's it going? Are you having a block party? Can I come?
Turn around, go.
Have you got any music?
No.
Be gone.
Okay, so the vibe is a bit different to what I thought it was from looking at it back there. You know what? I left the oven on. Yeah, there's something in there. Chips, fries. And if you're not careful, they burn real quick in the oven. There's an art to cooking them.
Walk away.
Yeah, well...
This is our footpath. Keep moving.
Okay.
Walk away.
You see, the thing is, I was actually going this way, so I would like to continue going the way that I planned to go. Okay, bye! Uh-oh, cat.exe cannot be found. How do you reboot a cat? Can you Control-Alt-Delete it? Or is it like an Apple product? You need to go to that one shop in the city. I hate going there. You have to see a genius. A genius? You know what? I think this cat does need to go. It needs its charging port cleaned out. Don't hit the friendly seal. Don't. Oh, why'd you do? Oh, 2 hits! What a coward. That is, I'm going to say it, very rude. That is rude and dangerous from the cat. Oh, hello, hi. Are you a cat? Let me have a sniff. Yeah, you are. Careful now. I'm a bit hungry. Okay. No. Can I have some? No. All right, fine. I'll go.
Good.
I'm back. I am famished. If I could just have a little bit. You have an entire buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet. What about this piece here? This one. Okay, well, this is actually really good. The cat is being forced into sharing. Get in there, Fox. Oh, okay. No, maybe back off. You've crossed the limits now. Just go. Get out of there while you still can. There it is, the assault. Run away.
Well, welcome everyone to the Something for Nothing show. With, we were supposed to have 2 special guests today, but I guess we only have 1. And of course, my wonderful co-host, Mr. Boomer. How are you doing, sir?
I'm not doing too bad at all. I was wondering about the introduction with the Kangaroo Gang, but that's obviously going up in a bit.
It's going up
with
in a
us
bit,
today,
yeah.
we have someone who is not known as Gorgeous George Gardner, and that's Cheesy. So he's on board with us today, and we believe Sprinkles may or may not turn up. We're not sure his career could be at threat. But anyway, how are you on this fine day, night, whatever it happens to be in your part of the world, Cheesy, whose accent doesn't suit his time zone?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for inviting me on. You've caught me out because I'm a little bit sidetracked because I've just seen a white cat appear from the fourth dimension.
Yeah, that's because cats are go ahead.
That explains how my cat gets into weird and wonderful places. It's not climbing into them. It just manifests itself.
Well, cats are actually classified as a liquid.
That explains so much.
In fact, we do have the meme to prove it too, not on hand. But yeah, have you noticed the way they fit into containers so perfectly well? They are viscous. Yeah, and anyone who's ever known. The other thing too about extra dimensions, also socks, when applied with the right amount of heat and rotational force, disappear. And dryers actually produce that. So clothes dryers, that's why we have the missing sock. It actually transfers into another dimension, probably with a bunch of cats, I guess. And we're covering scams today, Cheesy, so I don't know why we thought about you, but apparently you came to our mind. First off, when we were doing scams as a continuation of the Sunday show.
I'm not sure whether that's an honour or you're casting dispersions on my good character.
Well, we wouldn't do that. It's just, well, put it this way. Questions do get asked, and it's best to clear the air, but why would someone on American time zone have an English accent?
Extradition laws is all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so we'd best not point out that you may have connections to the Kangaroo Gang. So anyway, sorry, I've lost my list. I'm just totally disorganised now without Sprinkles being here because we know what happened there. What's happening in the way of good news this week? You had anything come up over in your neck of the woods?
Oh, good news. I wish. What has been going on? I don't know. You've caught me out again. I haven't thought of anything in advance that's actually good news. My new talk show, my new call-in show is going quite well. Although if anyone saw the show last night, I had to remove it. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, other than that, no. I've had my second vaccine, so that's as good as it gets. I think I'm out and about and officially allowed to be out in public, which is really pleasing.
Right. That is really good. I still have to wait like 30 days for my second shot, but I actually had my first shot last Monday.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the bartender to come back. Waiting for the bartender to come back does not qualify as your second shot.
And my arm almost stopped hurting.
But did you have? Is that Moderna by any chance?
No, Pfizer.
Oh right, I had the Pfizer one.
Yeah, but a lot of people have sore arms because because it's not the vaccine itself, but it's the needle. Because it goes through they have to go through your muscles, and a lot of people have sore arms because of that.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's quite a common thing. There's a side effect known as the Moderna arm, which is a little bit more painful. But I had Pfizer. It was okay. The only side effect I had is my joints got really achy for a few hours. But apart from that, it was harmless.
Yeah, no, it was the worst part was actually the fact that they sit. I don't know what they do in the States, but here they sit you down for 15 minutes. first, and that was actually the worst part of it.
They make you you got to check in. They make you wait round and in the waiting room, which it seems a really bad idea because it's unvaccinated people in a confined space. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
but then you've got to wait for 15 minutes afterwards as well in case there's any side effects.
And the 50 minutes afterwards is nicely spaced out, so that's completely fine. Now here there wasn't any waiting room. Here they did it. They changed. I had to go in like a tennis hall. That's where that's what I made into a vaccination site, and I think that they did similar things here, like big halls and like big sporting halls and stuff like that aren't used now anyway because of the pandemic. So it's
yeah. The when I was being booked in, they asked me. I won't derail your whole show, I promise. But when I was booked in, they asked me if I had any questions. So I said no because I said I've read up on it. I know what I'm getting. I know how it works. I'm good. Know roughly how it works. I said, what's the weirdest thing somebody else has asked you? And this guy looked really dejected. And he said he'd had a lady in who brought her magnifying glass because she wanted to check the vial to see if it had nanobots in it. And I was like, "You poor guy. I am so sorry."
At least he was taking it. I mean, here there wasn't any time to ask questions to anyone because you walk in with your ID and your declaration of health if you ever use any medicine and if you have like heart conditions and stuff like that, and they say like, okay, if there is nothing going on, you can walk straight to the vaccination lane. There was a lady where there were like 10 vaccination lanes, and there was just a lady say, okay, there is no one waiting there, so you can go to vaccination line 6, for example. And there was no one waiting there, and before I know it, the needle was already in my arm, and I was already sitting on the chair to wait 50 minutes. And in total it lasted me maybe like 17 minutes in total.
Nice.
It was really good. Yeah.
Well, guys, just to get you up to date on interesting news from the good old shores of the US, Witsit's drawn attention to the fact that wearing a mask is a violation of your constitutional rights under religious-based grounds. So there you go. Apparently, spreading corona is, I don't know, within Witsit's...
What are the conspirators then going to do? Because the conspirators are actually going to wear masks.
Look, I'll just point this out to you, and I might even get thrown out of the club for this, but... Look, I might get thrown out of the club for this, but the reason we circulate these nanobots and mask viruses and all that sort of stuff is basically, I'm sorry guys, but ladies, the check engine light is a furphy. It always has been. With the empowerment of women over the years, we need to resort to really desperate things to get sex. And one of them is the furphy of the check engine light. You've got to go and ask a guy to get it turned off. We know where the switch is. We turn it off and we've broken the ice. It's a way to get sexual favours. I'm sorry, guys. I can't go on any longer. The guilt has been too much. The check engine light, or in fact, any of those check lights on your dashboard of your car, they're all furphies. None of them actually mean anything. It's just a tricky way to try and make women have sex with us guys who clearly don't deserve it. So I'm sorry. I feel better now. I've confessed to the crime.
But what happened this week too? I don't know if people hear it, but they had a bit of a oopsie with HBO Max. I don't know if you guys heard, but what happened was apparently the intern at HBO Max accidentally sent an empty test email to a part of the people on the mailing list, and so they had to send out a tweet like, "I'm sorry, yes, it was the intern, but we're helping him through the feeling of dread." And Well, the funny thing that happened was that people started, instead of being angry or something like that, oh, HBO fucked up or something like that, people actually sympathized with the intern and they started sharing their stories about how they fucked up during their internships.
What?
And that
What was the email though?
So dear,
I don't get.
it was just this. This was just integration test email number 1. This template is used by integration test only. That is what he accidentally sent to a lot of people. It was just a test email. Accidentally. So it wasn't really any harm done. He didn't send like a link or company secrets or something like that. He just sent an email that is basically just this, what you see here. Yeah, you see here. That is what he sent. That's a screenshot of the email.
Oh, can't see it there, but anyway, okay.
So
I just checked. I was sent that email. I'm a HBO Max customer.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So people started to sympathize with the intern and started sharing stories that of their fuck ups during internships, and dear intern actually started trending, and I thought it was kind of funny.
That is really
Well, he
cool.
could have pulled out the Dutch 420th Amendment. That's the I was too stoned, Your Honour, and that's it. That gets you off everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. So here, for example, at the top one, I once said I had a 1-900 sex hotline as a conference call number for the Women's National Democratic Group. The average age of the membership was about 78. So I don't know, Boomer. Do you have a fuck up? Did you had a fuck up as an intern?
When I was an intern, no, I just went straight to doctor. I did the email course, so I didn't have to be an intern. I just got the certification. That's the way it works nowadays, isn't it? You just do the email course, and you've got a law degree or a doctorate. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I do. I haven't practiced doctoring for some time.
So you can't say you have like a story of a good fuck up.
Well, yes, I've got plenty of stories of good fuck ups.
By you,
I suppose one of the best ones by me. No, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
And this wasn't deployed. It wasn't deployed to find out dirt about you at all. So.
Okay. I've kind of forgotten because I was doing some research before the show, and obviously I've got a bit of a clouded mind because I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, unless it's the St. Peter's episode. But we won't go into that just yet.
No. I just wanted to have dirt on you. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I can tell. I was working at a company it was my trial period, and they were using virtual servers on a remote server, and the virtual service was what they shared to their customers, and I accidentally switched off I accidentally switched off the server, and all the customers lost access to the server, and they actually had to call the company where they host the server to switch their server back on manually. That was my fuck up. It was only my second day, so.
Oh, geez, I can't remember any off the top of my head. It's this new change of time zone. See, it's the wee hours of the morning for me. It's not the early afternoon anymore. The brain functions a little bit.
I thought that we went to Britain on our big crime heist thing.
Well, yes, as anyone who saw the introduction, Crawl, where the Aussies nicked a few merino sheep from the Spanish monarchy, which was a whole thing, and converted it into an industry and totally destroyed it. Of course, there's also the incidents of where the Dutch managed to rent New Holland to the English for, what was it, 5,000 tulips a week, of which the English have got no hope of paying back rent, so we'll be re-foreclosing on that one. There was one instance, though, because as you know, Australia is pretty much a nation of convicts, although it's not strictly true. We do like to milk that one. So it ends up some time back. St. Peter, I think, is that the one who's the guardian of the gates of heaven? He's sitting there doing his normal shift, and there's a sudden bang at the gates and three noises, these loud voices, and he could a foreign accent to him. You didn't quite know, but it was three Aussies. Some of them complaining about, I thought you bled the brakes. No, you bled the brakes. I thought you did. Well, I don't know. What are we doing here? And St. Peter said, hey, guys, what's the carry on here? And they said, well, I know we were in the car and we've sort of turned up here. He goes, oh, well, okay, well, this is a bit odd because this is heaven. And obviously we've never had any Australians here before. So this is a bit of a fuck up. We're going to have to send you on your way. But hold on. So how do we get out of here, the guys say, because they didn't give a shit. And he goes, hang on, I'll see what I can do because this has never happened before. So St. Peter jumps on the little telephone to God and says, hey, God, look, I've got this problem down at the gates. And he goes, what is it now? And he says, these three Aussies have turned up. And he says, no, they can't be right. No, they go straight to the other place. He goes, I know. So I don't know. What do we do? Because you're obviously God and I'm not. So how do you do? Do you just, I don't know, send them back or do whatever it is? And he says, oh, I don't know. It's a bit unprecedented. I have to think about it. And he says, oh, hang on. Oh, no, it's okay. They're gone. And he says, what, all three of them? And he said, no, the gates.
Well, you know, they're pearly gates. So yeah, Australians nick everything, man. They even go to England to start like a crime gang, right?
And due to the wonderful laws of the BBC and their copyright, who seem to not allow stealing by anyone, even though you think they would have a clause for Australians because you just cop that, the BBC, in their rather, I don't know, the way they jealously guard their stuff and they're just such bad sports, do have an excellent documentary on something called the Kangaroo Gang. But just a little quick intro we'll show you there, and we'll have a bit of a rabbit on about them after this one. But give us your worst there, Mr. Ardawen.
From 1788, Britain had sent its best thieves across the world to Australia. In the 1960s, some made it home. There were 5 master thieves: the King, the Fibber, the General, Wee Jimmy, and the dashing Georgie Gardner. Together with their mob, they tore up London in broad daylight and became known as the Kangaroo Gang. Thieves by appointment.
So yeah, a couple of familiar faces in that gang, of course.
Of course, as we can not state, it's clearly not cheesy. It's not Georgie Gardner because we wouldn't have said that if he was. So that's obviously not him. And I am not the Fibber because, I mean, I'm never known to fib. So, and you're not the General because, Ardawen, because you're just not a narcissistic control head. So obviously we're none of those people. But just the thing, if anyone does go on, I hope we do put the link in, but go and watch the whole documentary because it's actually got interviews from ex-chief commissioners from police who are dodgy. It's got actual guys from the gang, a whole bunch of Australians from those 5, all pretty much went over to London and did their overseas holidays by stealing jewellery from some of the highest ranked places. And it was all done in a time without violence. It was clever acting. They would go in and have one person was going to do the thieving. Someone else would assist and keep watch out. And the other 4 or 5 people were what were called head pullers. And they would create ruckus. They would do whatever they did. One girl actually got her gear off, did a strip in the pub, in the bank to distract attention. There was one point where there was actually a copper in the line and he didn't see a guy whose ability was to get over. One created a diversion with a map or something, and he would get over with what was a car aerial with some hooks and actually emptied out the teller's drawer, like got all of the money. And when they got jewellery, they got like all of the jewellery. And these guys really cleaned up. They did all big places, never did it violently, excellent actors, almost Robin Hood sort of character around them. And the documentary does cover it well, but some of the stuff I've just seen, it is so amusing. And as you can imagine with these 5 guys, all I did was nick jewellery by day and go and womanise and drink piss of a night time. So They were living the high life, and and they were sort of kind of people liked them. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, your speakeasy's not been paying its bills lately, Cheesy. You notice that your books, you've been, I don't know, some of your checks haven't cleared. We wouldn't want to come around to your speakeasy and have to, I don't know. Yes. Yeah, how are you going there with those payments? Did you not?
Well, you know what it's like. The feds keep stealing the booze.
Well, but we have some both good and bad news for everyone actually. Do you think we should start with the bad news, Boomer?
I don't know. I've got no idea where you're going, so you better start wherever you feel comfortable.
Well, in less than 24 hours, the world is going to end.
Oh, this
Again?
one, yeah, okay.
It's actually it's actually true. The world is going to end in less than 24 hours. But there is good news. We are, of course, safe here in our flying washing machine in space, and we have a couple of rooms left. It's a limited amount of space, but we have some rooms left. So for only $3,499 American dollars, you can join our humanity rescue plan. Now, Cheesy here, he is our first customer, and he can actually confirm that it's actually quite comfortable here in our flying washing machine in space, because of the gravity generating spinny thing. So if you want to join, this is not a scam.ardawen.com. And yeah.
Is this the part where I read this out and say, yes, this is most definitely the most luxurious and comfortable washing machine I have ever been in?
Yes.
That's pretty good. Yes. Yep. And I'm just going to point this out to those in the audience, but when I basically got in touch with Cheesy to come and do this, I sort of said that if you come on the show, we'll give you back your identity that we've stolen when we hacked, and all your personal details when we hacked your computer, to which he enforced a strict no refunds policy. And I don't know, how do you do it? It's all over the little guy. You steal their identity and they have a no refund policy. Barman did it to us, and now you. It's all over, guys. This is getting hard. People are just onto it.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the first time you got scammed though, because I remember you telling me, and I just found out that this was a scam. But I remember you telling me that you had a little bit of a flame in the Ukraine, and that she knew all the restaurants, and she knew all the perfume shops and the massage parlors. And I regret to inform you, Boomer, but you have actually been scammed.
Right. Yeah, I actually watched this one, and yeah, God, he padded it out, didn't he? I almost thought it was a flat Earth video. So, but this is what you'll do for love when you've got a beautiful Ukrainian woman. And I never even went there too. She was getting ready, and then suddenly, when she got on the plane, apparently, I don't know, her sister's eye operation, or it was appendicitis. But anyway, she's still coming over. I think she'll be over at some stage. And I think she said she's got in touch with your Nigerian princess friend too. So fill me in on what's happened with all these exotic bath oils and massage parlors and wonderful beauty processes I've been paying for. Well,
I have a video.
I've been paying for. Hang on, I've been paying for them with your credit card, but I've still been paying for them, so I suppose that qualifies.
It's cool. It's actually quite better with credit cards.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna tell him when he was here, but
Well, he hasn't shown up, so Yeah.
Welcome to part 2 of our undercover scam op, where we're busting the deadliest scam app in Ukraine that are scamming you, Western man, out of your hard-earned money. First of all, it's called Femme Fatale, okay, which stands for deadly or fatal woman.
One thing that I found funny is that
I'm standing in front of one of the
he's not saying femme fatale. I was like, what?
Scam member restaurants.
I'll go,
it's not the restaurant
I'll
that's
go
the
feast
scammer,
fatale.
okay? It's the app. But anyway,
That's a stock-related
Carpaccio,
story.
which is just across one block from Sofiatskaya 1, our office, and up one couple of blocks here. The reason this is critically important that you know where all of these scam restaurants and other merchants and vendors are is because if your lady invites you to this restaurant or to buy jewelry or an iPhone or spa procedures or anything like that, cosmetics, on the list, and we've identified as many of the scam vendors as we could, both in the app and
if it's not
elsewhere.
on the list,
that,
it's
both for
okay
Kyiv
to
and
buy
Odessa, is
her
Google Docs
jewelry
link in the description
buy her
below
love.
this video, so you definitely want to grab a copy of that and be on high red alert for your lady ever inviting you to any of these restaurants or vendors. So what we're going to do, we're going to go inside and I'm going to get scammed. So guys, you ready to meet my partner in crime that's going to scam me out of 40% of the bill today? Come say hi. Surprise, surprise.
Today I will that girl.
Yes. So honey, are you ready to scam me out of 40% of the bill?
Not really.
How do you feel about it?
If I have any other choice?
Are you nervous?
Yes, a little
No,
bit.
I'm forcing you to
I
do
think
this.
a lot of it. She's never scammed anyone
Because
before.
I'm
This will be her
actually a
first
horrible
scam.
person. No, I'm kidding.
So let's go over there and have dinner at Carpaccio's. Are you hungry?
Very much.
See you guys after for a review of how it went, because Anna's going to have to ask them,
What?
how do I get my 40% cash back? Right?
Yeah, so I
See you soon.
actually found this scam actually kind of interesting because so basically what this happens is not that you decide to go to this restaurant. You're in Ukraine, you're on unknown territory, quote unquote, and she is suggesting like, oh, I know a great restaurant that's actually not that expensive. So that is actually
so really she's just, so it's like a, what do you call it, slightly underhanded influencer. Sorry, an influencer. So someone who says, I don't know, some dickhead like PewDiePie says, this restaurant's great or this restaurant's terrible. I mean, I personally am an influencer. What I do with my partner in crime, we go to certain shopping centres until real estate values start dropping, in which case they pay us to fuck off. And we also go into restaurants and say, look, I've got over 1 million people hate me on Twitter, and if you don't give us a free feed, we're going to say we come here, and they'll feed us for free and to make us piss off. So we have influencing, and that pays much better. I mean, you're only after a free feed anyway. So that's basically it. It's just a sort of it's technically a bit of a scam, but it's really being a spotter, isn't it, I guess?
well, sort of, yeah. But except that she is taking you, and she's also asking you to buy jewelry at the right store and buy perfume at the right store, and she gets cash back from it.
Hey guys, we're back. We just had a delicious meal at Carpaccio restaurant just around the corner from our office. So honey, how do you feel? Like you were scammed or?
Not really. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of restaurant, and I found that there is no overcharged price. You know, I really.
That was surprising, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. Guys, how much do you think it would cost for? Okay, I had tuna. John Francis. We took John Francis and his Elena. So they're still together, guys, and they're a great couple. We were in stitches laughing all night.
Yeah, all night. Yeah.
It was incredible. So I had tuna. John Francis had tuna. You had salmon.
Yeah.
How was your salmon?
Very tasty, amazing.
Yeah, the tuna was just cooked perfectly. Medium rare, succulent.
What is this, a restaurant? He's a bloody part of the scam too.
I was about to say, he's scamming us.
Fair pricing for the quality of food, the location right in my down center. What do you think, hon?
I know, but it's sort of also to sort of emphasize that the scam is not so much that the restaurant is bad or anything like that.
But if man invite lady, not woman invite man, if she has...
Case in point.
Yeah.
Well, highly recommend Carpaccio restaurant. total value. The only thing is, they're a member of this Femme Fatale or Fatal Woman scam app. Unfortunately, hey, can't judge them. Don't know. It's a cashback deal. It helps them.
Well, I actually do sort of blame them because they willfully participating in this sort of scam thing. But sorry, yeah.
Business. So they're not, per se a scam restaurant. It's the ladies and the app that are the bad actors, right? Not the restaurant. And there was a lot of foreigners there speaking English at the same time, or maybe 3 other couples. Yeah.
All I think it was foreigners.
All foreigners. Yeah. So Anya did a little bit of spy cam when she talked to the waiter about how do you get your money back here, 40% cash back. What did he say?
Yeah, he said basically, I didn't know. I know your card number. You will contact the manager of this app, and they will let you know all the details.
So we're expecting within the next little bit, 40% cash back on whatever bank cards you provide, right?
Yeah.
Directly to your card. So there you have it, guys.
So yeah, it's sort of a scam, but I thought it was a really interesting one. Like they're sort of roping these men into coming to the Ukraine and sort of woo them and say like buy them expensive stuff and get cash back from it.
So just say it costs say $150 for the meal, and 40. Oh, say 100 to keep the math easy. So it's $100. He pays on the credit card, so 100's then wiped out. She then fills out some paperwork, and then $40 comes back to her card or his card. Like, this is the bit I didn't quite get.
Yeah.
The 40%. It's like a spotter's fee. It's like when you see an accident, you ring up a tow truck, you get $20 from the tow truck for ringing them up. So it's kind of like that. You're getting them the work. Is that it? Like, the restaurants aren't really. It's not really an organised crime network. In fact, it's pretty shallow as far as scams go.
Yeah, but they are willfully participating in it. But of course, because it draws in customers. So it's kind of a spotters thing. But with the added thing, with the added thing is that some of them do hook up with men because of this. That's the scam part of it.
But look, here's an interesting one that I sort of do find interesting insofar as with restaurants. Now, I don't know if you've seen the meme or it gets around where it says, wanted musicians for my restaurant. If you would like to come around and promote your band through doing music in our restaurant, this is not an everyday gig, but it could get better if it works out well. Feel free to take advantage of this opportunity to produce, to sort of promote your restaurant. We'd like easy jazz rock and from around the world. If you're interested in work, please apply ASAP. Right? Solo musicians wanted. Next one, the reply. Happy New Year. I'm a musician with a big house looking for a restaurateur to come to my house to promote his or her restaurant by making dinner for me and my friends. This is not a daily job, but only for special events, but may turn into a nightly event if we get a positive response. We're looking for fine dining, exotic meals, and ethnic fusion cuisine. If you're interested to promote your restaurant, please apply back. Now, I love the way they turn that around because, you don't ask a tradesman to come and fix your fucking plumbing to promote and put a sign up saying plumbing done by or whatever. Why do restaurants think that people are going to come and play music for them? I mean, guitars don't cost, you don't get them for free. And learning how to play one and having a decent voice, it sort of gets me the way some people try stuff on.
I thought that instruments kind of manifested themselves by the power of exposure.
Well, you can go to the Crossroads and sell your soul, I believe, but I've never actually done that. Apparently there's some Crossroads somewhere in the US, so I don't know, perhaps Cheesy could look at that avenue, perhaps, if you ever need to be a musician. Only costs you your soul, so, I mean, that couldn't be worth too much, could it, Cheese?
I already gave my soul away trying to be a YouTube star.
Right.
That was a scam.
One that did get me, and I'm like, let's get into the nitty gritties. Real estate agents. Now, everyone's got one of these, but I came home from work one day, and in the letterbox, it's got like what was a handwritten letter, a little handwritten note that said, "Can you please ring me up on blah, blah, blah number, really urgent." And I thought, oh, okay, this might be, I don't know, looked sort of like a bit of a thing. So I rang it, and it's a real estate agent. And what they had done is photocopied these handwritten things. It was that, do you want to sell your house? And it was a rental property. So you know that the person doesn't really know what this property is anyway. But anyway, it's this handwritten letter. Now, where I was living was actually, our side of the street was sort of average, but across it was called Millionaire Alley, insofar as it was the rear entry to riverfront properties that were all $1 million plus properties. So anyway, I'm in one of these moods. So I was doing some research on the front porch, and it was Queensland. So I actually rang them up just with nothing to do and said, yeah, I want to sell me property across the road, and rah, 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 and gave him this whole story. I've got to bail out quick because, yeah, it'll be cheap and whatever. Anyway, the guy turned up and he's across the road, and I was sitting on the porch, and I would give him a few minutes. He's knocked on the door and there was no answer, and pushed the security button. And then I rang him and I see him answer his phone. And I said, how are you, Chief? And he goes, not bad. And I say, you see the guy sitting on the porch just up above you? And he goes, yeah. And I said, that's me. Don't you ever put that fucking shit in my letterbox again, you arsehole. Don't you hate it when people mislead you? And I've hung it up and give him the bird. And he's got in the car, slammed the door and drove off. And I mean, he couldn't exactly evict me, could he? But you know, the tricks they play on you. This handwritten letter, fuck off, will you? You know, just put a flyer and be annoying like the rest of the real estate. So
are you saying are you saying that might be a
Yep.
scam you want to avoid?
What? selling houses I don't own. I don't know. Well, I didn't go over and invite him in, did I? I just let him think he might have been able to sell them at that house. I mean, I've got a bridge. Actually, I've got a good bridge for sale. You're a bridge buyer, aren't you, Ardawen? You've got a couple, haven't you?
I could use a good bridge because I have a video.
Right. Oh, okay.
So I could use a bridge that goes from this conversation to the video. I don't know how much would how much would that cost me?
Well, I do have a cash back offer on this one, so I only 3.5 mil, but you'll get 40% cash back if you put it in through the Ukrainian paperwork. So I think I can work for that.
No, I think I'm gonna avoid that scam, and I kind of want to know what other scams I should avoid. So I might have a video for that.
Okay.
Protect yourself from these 3 common debt collection scams. I'm Nicole from lowincomerelief.com. We help low-income people save money and get free stuff. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and enable those notifications so you never miss a video.
Scams. We have give you
Debt collection scams are very common. Debt collection law has very specific guidelines about what debt collectors can and cannot do. Usually, though, debt collectors don't know or don't care. They don't have a lot of incentive to follow the law. Collection agencies make millions, even billions of dollars from breaking the law. When they do get sued or penalized, the amount they pay is a pittance compared to how much they've earned from these scams. We can't change the industry overnight, but we can learn how to stop debt collectors from manipulating us with their scams. It's important to know how to protect yourself against fraud and abuse, and that's what we're going to teach you about today. Scam 1. You're contacted by someone who says they need to serve legal papers on you. This scam has actually happened to me personally several times. The scam usually goes something like this. You'll get a call out of the blue from a restricted number. They'll say their name is something like Jim, and they're calling from a really common and official sounding legal service provider. And they'll say they have court paperwork that they need to serve you with today. You'll respond confused, and the person calling you won't offer any information. They'll just say, I have to get you these papers right away. I can't tell you anything else. You're going to need to call this other phone number for more information. Now, there are a lot of red flags in this situation because real process servers who are serving real legal paperwork do not call in advance to tip you off. If you're being served a real lawsuit, they're just going to show up at your address. They're not going to call you. So if you get a call from someone who's claiming that they need to deliver legal paperwork to you, you should automatically be very skeptical. Even though I already knew this, I'm a very curious person, so I went ahead and called the number that I was given by the alleged process server, and I spoke to a representative named Robert, who claimed I was being sued for an old loan that I'd totally forgotten about. Anyway, he said I had to pay the amount before the legal server arrived, or I wouldn't be able to avoid the lawsuit. I'd end up in jail, my life would be ruined, blah, blah, blah. Knowing what I know about how the debt process works, I asked a lot of questions that clearly made Robert uncomfortable. He eventually placed me on an extended hold, during which I did some Google searches and discovered that the company he claimed to represent didn't even exist. Anyway, this scam has happened to me at least 3 times in the last year, and every time it basically works like this. First, a debt collector claims to be a process server, and they call you. They say that they're going to serve legal paperwork on you, and they try to scare you. Next, you're scared, so you call the number that they've given you. And when you finally make that call, another debt collector, who's probably sitting right next to the first guy, hypes up the alleged lawsuit and insists that you have to cooperate or all of these bad things are going to happen to you. All of this pressure and the short time frame are designed to scare you into paying immediately and without question, even if the debt is completely invalid. I have safely ignored this scam every time I've encountered it. And you know what? I've never been sued because of it. I wasn't even served. And it's a violation of debt collection law because debt collectors are not allowed to threaten to sue you when they do not have any intention of actually doing it. Scam number 2. The debt collector claims you'll be arrested or jailed for not paying. You cannot be arrested simply because you cannot afford a debt. Debts are a civil matter, not a criminal one. Sometimes debt collectors impersonate as police officers or even FBI agents, but law enforcement personnel do not collect on debts. Dateline once covered how some debt collectors pose as law enforcement. Sometimes they'll claim that felony charges have been made or say that warrants have been issued. So it's important to know that you cannot be arrested simply because you did not pay a debt. If someone contacts you and claims to work for a law enforcement agency, write their name down and hang up. Call the agency back directly at their published number, and you'll most likely find that you cannot locate the person who called you. Scam number 3, zombie debt that just won't die. Zombie debt earned its name because it comes back again and again and again, even after you think it's been dealt with. These debts are created because companies extract as much money as they can, and then they sell the remaining debt to another company. The new company tries to get the rest from you and may sell whatever remains to another company. The market of debt buying and selling is a complete mess. In many cases, debts are bundled together and sold as is. The seller acknowledges that there may be faults in the paperwork, but buyers still buy them. Why? Because they pay just pennies on the dollar, and the opportunity for returns are huge. Buyers of zombie debt usually have little more than a name, contact information, and an alleged amount owed. They usually can't verify the debt because they lack the necessary paperwork to pursue the case in court, but they'll never tell you that when they contact you. Instead, you'll find zombie debt popping up on your credit report again and again and again. Sometimes it'll persist after the original statute of limitations has passed. And if you make a voluntary payment, you can reset the statute of limitations and accidentally validate that debt. If you receive a collections notice or call for an old debt that may be close to or past the statute of limitations, do not pay it. Check the dates first to see if you're being tricked into turning a time-barred debt into a zombie debt. The best way to fight zombie debt is to submit a written demand for the debt collection company to verify their right to collect on that debt. There is certain paperwork that they have to maintain in order to legally collect. One of those things is a valid, unbroken chain of assignment that shows all the companies that have owned that debt all the way back to the original creditor. If they can't show you that paperwork, the debt is not valid and you should not pay it. You can also request to have invalid debt removed from your credit report. So what should you do if you're the victim of one of these scams? The most important thing you can do is to always document your interaction with debt collectors. By law, they have to identify themselves when they call you. Always take notes when you speak with a debt collector. You should always write down the debt collector's name and the collection agency's name. Get the company's contact information. Be sure to ask who the original creditor was, what the original balance was, and what the current balance is. If there's a difference in the amounts owed, ask why. You should also document the time, date, and duration of each call. Another thing you should write down is any suspected debt law violation that occurs when you are contacted by a debt collector. You are going to want the time, date, and the type of violation that you suspect occurred. If the debt collector has broken the law or said anything suspicious, put it in your notes. And if the violation occurred in a voicemail, be sure to save that voicemail. You may be able to sue, countersue, or use this in your negotiations on these debts if they have violated debt collection law. Of course, it's important to pay the debts that you legitimately owe, but you should never pay off a debt without having something in writing. This is especially true if the company has offered you a settlement. You need to have proof of that offer in case you someday need to defend it if the debt pops up again. For more information about these and other debt collection scams, please visit our website at lowincomerelief.com.
Okay. Look, just something I've got to point out, guys, is that for you two, I'm going to need those credit card details. Your car warranty will expire before midnight tonight. And if you want your student loan refunds, you're going to have to give me that info. So, look, guys, I sort of gave it to you earlier, but you're kind of dragging your feet on that. And, yeah, we need to get that sorted, okay? So, you got that credit card numbers for your student loan refund and for your car warranty. So, otherwise, you don't want to drive your cars unregistered. And as for your student phone loan, well, I mean, that's just money in your pocket you're not getting. Now, there's a guy on Facebook. This is classically brilliant, right? The guy has got a Barry White kind of voice. We are talking bottom end. I mean, if this guy starts humming Whales Migrate to the US, you know, that's how good this guy's voice is. And he was getting the scam calls, the tech support ones, right? And he's answered one day, and this is on Facebook or somewhere now doing this, but he said, I answered one day and I said to them, "G'day, you got through to the FBI fraud investigation line. Your call is important to us, and please hold. Whilst you're on hold, we'll be downloading all of your internet history for ease of access and in studying up with your case. We thank you very much for your time, and we'll be with you shortly." And he said that no scam caller has got to the end of that recorded message. He threw it up on Facebook, and so far it's got something like 3 million likes. And he's got like 10,000 people who've wanted to download his voice to put on their phone just to give to the scam callers. But, yeah, there's a little bit of piece of bread. Someone said, why don't you charge? And he goes, well, really, isn't that a bit of a scam? So he doesn't even want to charge for his voice. But,
oh, good.
Yeah, I just love that little bit. Yeah, so there's some good people out there too.
Yeah, and this was also I think that this was is a good video because a lot of people when they get the call like that, especially when you know you have some debts here and there, you're freaking out, and the chance that you fall for it when you're freaking out is pretty high.
Well, there's a couple of virtual reality shows based on repossessing cars. And one of the things people don't realize is that they go through your Facebook details. So all those people that want to say, having a coffee over at Baker's Delight in whatever suburb, they're actually being monitored by these repossession agencies who might turn up and nick your car. Well, they're not nicking your car, but technically you haven't paid it, but they'll repossess it and run it off. So yeah, if you want to abscond on debts, they do have some certain tricks they can do legally, but also there's other tricks that are just really underhanded, like what they'll do. We had an instance here in Victoria where they're a privatised company, but it's based on parking fines, so they access the government folders. And they worked out one of the particularly feral areas. They knew they all went to a certain park for football. And what happened is they went during a football game and went through and wheel clamped everyone's car. Now, the problem with that area, it had a little bit of vandalism issues. People couldn't move. It was a Saturday afternoon. They couldn't actually get the guys to come out and remove the clamps. So what happened, we're not sure whether it was one of the perpetrators or the actual people, they got all their tyres slashed. And because of this whole deprivation of liberty thing and leaving your car locked up and all that sort of stuff, they ended up copping the bill for all the tyres because you've got to be able to remove your car or they've got to be able to contact the person in such a way. So they ended up trying to get everyone for these unpaid fines, and they ended up having to pay a huge bill. And usually unpaid fines will allow you a payment nowadays anyway. They can get $10 a month out of you or a week. That's better than nothing.
Well, you know, yeah, and I think that this time is a good this time is a good time to remind people again that the world is going to end in less than 24 hours. But we have a limited offer because you can go to our special a special hideout, the big washing machine in space, for only $3,299 US. Now,
well, that's good. Yep, the lines are open.
Did you just say $3,299?
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
It is
can
a bargain.
Can I have two?
because Cheesy, you are our first customers, and you know the rooms. What do you think of our luxurious rooms? And of course, the lounge with beautiful cocktail men. What is your review on the big washing machine in space?
It's very shiny. It's very shiny. I love it.
Well, look. Also, Ardawen, I've got a call, an inquiry from Mrs. K. Robertson. That's Karen Robinson. It says, "Dear Ardawen," so she obviously has a bit of a liking to you. "I am a single mother and have two screaming, rotten, whinging kids. Can you accommodate me?" And to which our answer is yes. We actually have smell-proof, soundproof cells, so we can put you in those. And yes, you can bring yourself. And she's also mentioned that her name is Karen, so she does complain a lot. We have several managers. So we've got the Karen factor covered, as well as the noisy, stinky, rotten kids factor covered. All of those things, we can cover you, Karen. Just give us your credit card details and we're in. Anyone else in the chat would like to get in? These are filling. In fact, there's another call. There's another one. We've actually had two people still up in the last. You'll want to get in soon, guys.
We might actually be able to tell people about our special Karen package after the break.
Okay. Let's have a break.
Yes. So Boomer, I'm a bit package. How about you? You know, I'm a bit. I could eat something.
Look, dude, I've seen the ice cream ad, and I just fucking can't. I don't know if I can afford the therapy. This it gets worse. I really can't comment on it. I'm pretty gobsmacked. I've seen some pretty bad ads, but
yeah. I'm actually feeling from some ice cream. Good guess, Boomer. So let's go. Let's watch some ads.
Hold on, look. I'm only going to put up with it if you got pumpkin faces, decapitations, alien abductions, and skeletons. If you can't come up with that shit, I'm out of here.
I have some good news for you. Let's play the ad.
Stânga, cealaltă stânga. Hei, salut! Salut! Ce faci? Curățam o portocală și... Și ești bine? Da. Ți-am găsit CD-ul de Crăciun. Poți să-mi dai un pufulete?
Fall in love with IHOP's fall combos with eggs your way, hickory smoked bacon, and a side of Cinestack pancakes topped with cream cheese icing. Or our pumpkin spice pancakes made with real pumpkin.
Yippee-ki-yummers! I can't wait to stuff them in my pumpkin mouth. These fall
Fall pancakes are back at IHOP starting at $4.99.
There's good reason for my glistening skin, and how I shine, and how my pores are so clean and clear. I eat little baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life. When you eat little baby's ice cream, you'll wink and nod and hug and high-five each other with great enthusiasm. This is a special time. Little baby's ice cream. Ice cream is a feeling.
Wow. What? I'm not sure if I need a priest or a psychologist at the moment.
Yeah, like I see, you can see why I can't afford the therapy. I got to say that just on that little Japanese theme at the end, just lately in my YouTube feed, something that's not based on a scam come up. I just got to bring it up. There's a band called Baby Metal, and these guys are dead set thrash metal legends, like tight as a fish's ass guitarist, big kick drums, super high speed, 6-string bass guitarists like Eddie Van Halen, and 3 Japanese ballerina chicks in Metal Gear. And it's kind of like K-pop cross with metal, cross with, I can't describe it, but I keep watching it. And up comes another one, and I just keep watching it, and like, this is incredible. You know, I am way too old for this stuff, but it's like, you know, you shouldn't watch a welder, but you have to. You just got to don't look at the eclipse, but you have to. You know?
Sometimes you find the weirdest shit on YouTube. Like, I have completely zero interest into locks, but for some reason I got recommended there, and a lot of people know him because I think that the same thing happened to a lot of people. I discovered the lockpicking lawyer.
I love him.
And I just watched his video of him lockpicking locks, and I have zero impact in lockpicking locks or locks, but I just love watching him lockpicking locks.
I love that so much. It's like therapy.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's like, this is an unpickable lock, and then 5 seconds later, it's in pieces on his desk, and he's like, and this is all I have for you today. Yes.
Yeah. So click out of 1. Click out of 1. 3 is binding.
I bought a set of lockpicks because of the lockpicking lawyer.
So you're falling for his...
You've been scammed by a lawyer. Wow. Scammed by a lawyer. Who would have thought? In fact, there's an interesting one with a lawyer. Yeah, like you've got your court case coming up. The lawyer says to you, well, I've got some good news and some bad news. And you say, well, what's the bad news? We can't get you off. You're going to jail. So what's the good news? I still get my fee. I didn't say it was good news for you. They still charge you. Like, if you're going to go to jail, how can they possibly charge you? And you can't exactly get a lawyer on them, can you? Something I've always thought about the professions. They're not very professional, really, at the end of the day, are they?
Well, you're not getting charged for the result. You're getting charged for the service that they provide.
I'm sure, and they do provide a wonderful service, don't they?
Listen. If you don't manage to finish, you still gotta pay the prostitute.
Oh, that's probably a pretty fair point, but I wouldn't know because I don't frequent such places. Because you usually got to have valid credit card numbers, of which I've just done a check, guys. I'm going to say those 2 credit card numbers you both gave me didn't fit. So can you actually get the proper ones this time around? Because you're not going to have car warranty or your student loans back if you don't stop these shenanigans, okay, fellas?
I'm sorry, but there's
you want to
I maxed out my credit card buying ice cream.
Okay, now here's an interesting one, right? You know how you have scams and not scams. Now there's a fine line between it. You know, we've all heard the pyramid sales. Any of you who watched our Bunker 33 US edition a few days back would have seen it all, but I don't need to tell you because you all watched it like the loyal little puppies that you are, and that's wonderful. We thank you for that. But anyway, one of my brother's customers, their job, right now, these guys were legitimate rubbish removals, yard cleanups and things like that. And they did, you know, they were proper. They wrote legitimate businessmen on their tax return, so obviously they were good dudes. But one of their tricks, now this is where I really couldn't do this, but yeah, I could go and mow their lawns and charge money in that thing. But what they used to do was read the obituary column in the newspaper, and anyone they knew who was sort of local to the area, they'd go, old Harold, Harold's died. The wife Ethel, she's not real bright. So what they would do is actually ring up and say, g'day, Ethel, look, we're Harold's friends. You know, any condolences? And we're really sad to hear about he's gone. And they didn't know him. They just, you know, this was the sales pitch. But look, it's a hard time. We know these guys that are really good and they can clean up your garage for you. Oh, that's okay. Well, and normally Ethel will either have someone who'll do it and she'll refuse, or she might be a bit lonely and say, yeah, okay, you can come around and clean out. It's a rough time. Now, as you're probably aware, the suburban garage of Harold is a fucking gold mine. You are going to find everything he's ever snuck home without the wife wanting to know. You'll find maritime clocks. Whatever's collectible is going to be in there. So I even said to him when he's having a beer, and he's telling us about this at the workshop, yeah, we look up the obituary columns. And I said, how can you do that? Like, that is just so, it's kind of tacky to me. But I don't know, guys. Views on that. Is that moral or immoral? There's going to be someone going to clean that garage out anyway.
Absolutely disgusting to just hunt for it.
Yeah, but what they will say is if we don't do it, someone else will. That's their defense. You know, like guys that have dating app or not dating apps, they might have those apps that get a lot of kids in, and then they might get used for untoward purposes. The app operators will always say, if I don't do it, someone else will. That's their go-to. And that was these guys. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't honestly ring up someone who I know their husband's just died and use it as a commercial opportunity.
Yeah. But, it's like if I don't hit Elon Musk in the face, someone else will.
Well, okay, you want one with scams? This is one you've got to watch now. This is a go-to. On Netflix, I believe, there's been a new 3-part series come up called Murder Among Mormons, where a guy who just recently went to jail found and forged all these supposed old letters from, was his name Jeff Smith, the old South Park episode of Dum 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 Dum. Do you know what I'm speaking of here, or do I sound like a blithering idiot?
It was the Mormon episode.
Right. Well, that thing, he claimed to have all these old letters from Jeff's wife and started using it to get traction. And whenever anyone got a bit close to it to discover these forgeries, he actually murdered them. So there was this nutcase, neurotic sociopath using forgeries and basically, being a murderer within, and that's it, Murder Among Mormons. So if you see that come up on your Netflix, it looks like a ripper to actually go and watch. But I mean, South Park took them to the cleaners on it, but this is like, wow, scary stuff. So people murder you in order to maintain their fame and their religious traction.
That sounds
that one up. But...
That sounds very dum 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 dum.
Well, as it ends up, guys, I was digging in Victoria, just not far from here near the lake, and dug up some plaques, and I put them in my hat, and suddenly an archangel appeared, and believe it or not, Jesus was born here in Victoria, and I've actually got the proper 10 commandments now. So this is going to turn, I'm starting a religion, guys, and I'm looking for disciples. Would anyone be interested? Do we, on our spaceship, this is all getting culty, isn't it? Bring your cricket bat along, we'll have a couple of hits. Yep. And those seats are still filling quickly too. We're running. Yep. The lines are busy.
Behold the Bible of the Gospel of Boomah.
Well, actually, one of our good friends, Cool Hard Logic, has got the I'm Offended one, and that's worth watching too because he actually does the religion of, what was it? I can't remember. Terence. That's right. The honey badger was the religion, and of course, those who support Terence would be considered Terences, and he sort of showed you the levels of how religious belief can go. And funnily enough, one of the guys in the chat started a first Church of Terence, which I immediately corrected all of his faults, and I have now since started the second Church of Terence, and there's been a third church. So we're actually having a religious war in the comments section of Cool Hard Logic. It's so funny. I'm liking these people I meet in the comment sections. It's getting weird, and I like it. Anyway, someone else have the floor.
Yeah.
What? My housemate was scammed about a month ago. And it's amazing how even the most level-headed people can get drawn in by these things. Out of the blue, she gets a call from the Department of Investigation or something like that in the US, who said there's a warrant out for your arrest. Your social security number and a large amount of your personal paperwork was found in a car in Texas, along with bloodstained seats and a large quantity of cocaine. And there's a warrant out for your arrest, and we're on the way. So she said, right. She's like, so immediately she's on the back foot because there's a warrant out for her arrest and things like that. So they said, we're here to help. We don't want any of your personal information. We just need to know it's you're the right person that we're talking to. You're the actual person. So can you tell us your social security number just to confirm it's you? So she told them her social security number. Of course, they said, yes, that's absolutely correct. Yes, it is you. We can now tell you that we're going to freeze all of your bank accounts. So any residual income that you have in your bank accounts, you will not be able to access for 48 hours. So what we suggest you do is go to a shop and buy a set of gift cards or a disposable debit card and put the rest of your money on that. And she said, right, that's great. So she rushed off, did that, put all the rest of her money. It was only like $400 or something, but it was the money in her account. She did that. And then she gets a call from the guy saying, right, we believe that somebody is still tracking you. And they may have just stolen the money from the cards that you just bought. Can you just send us a picture of the front and back of the card, please? So we can verify that your money hasn't been stolen, and if it has, we will refund you. So she sent a picture of the front and back of the cards.
Not right now.
And they took the money. By the time she told me what was going on, they took the $400 off the card.
Yeah. Well, the Google Play cards is always like a red flag.
It was a disposable debit card, so they went and bought something with it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. This is actually a really good hook into the next video, because in the next video they are also asking for Google Play cards.
Yep. Let's go.
And yeah.
So the other day I get an email from my boss, followed by a strange text message from my boss. And it didn't take me long to realize that maybe this wasn't my boss after all. So check this out. I actually teach a night class at a local university, and one afternoon I get an email from my department chair, let's just call her Becky, and Becky asked me if I'm available and to give her my cell phone number. When I saw this, I started freaking out, because why would my department chair be asking if I'm available? Did some student find some old offensive tweet of mine? I thought, I'm going to be in trouble here, so I write back immediately, and I give her my cell phone number. And then right after I sent that email, I noticed that I just did something very stupid, because this person emailing me had a bogus email address of department.chair213@gmail.com. Now, this is obviously not Becky's email address. Some scammer went onto the university's website, found her name, then set up a fake email address and began to email all of her colleagues. And I was stupid enough to respond with my personal cell phone number.
So yeah, but as this is also a good hook into your story, because this is what he does on his YouTube. exposing scammers and exposing what scammers do, and he almost fell for it, and he gave away his phone number. So yeah, that is how crafty those people are. You know, they know that people can fall for it. Like almost everyone can fall for it.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah, even the
Yes,
brightest,
even
even
your-
the brightest of people can get caught out.
Yeah, even people who have a YouTube channel where they expose scammers.
Yeah.
Yours truly was dumb enough to fall for one of these scams. But that's just when the fun began, because shortly thereafter, I get a text from Becky saying, "Hi Ben, it's Becky. Get back to me as soon as you get this text. Thanks." Sure, Becky, let's see what she wants. So I write back and I say, "Hi Becky, what can I do for you?" She says, "I'm in a meeting right now, can't talk. I don't know if it's convenient for you to get a task done for me." She wants me to do something for her, huh? Well, let's see what she wants. So I write back and I say, "Sure, what's up?" "Okay, is there any store around you there?" I said, "What kind of store?" "Any grocery store." "Grocery store? What has Becky cut up her sleeve?" I say, "Yeah, you need a snack or something, LOL?" She says, "Okay, I need Google Play gift cards. Can you get some at the store right now? I will reimburse as soon as I'm out of the meeting with any inconveniences. Thanks." I said, "Google Play gift cards? What are they for?" "It's for the university use." Okay, if you watch my videos, you'll know that gift cards are the currency of scammers. They have these places where you can buy Bitcoin with gift cards and then easily convert the Bitcoin to cash, making it pretty impossible to leave a money trail. So I know exactly what this person is doing, but I'm going to waste her time. So I write back and I say, "Like a giveaway or something? Because purchases like that typically go through the finance department." She said, "Let me know if you were able to help. Thanks." Well, I don't want Becky to think that I'm not a dependable employee. So I write back and I say, "I'll do anything for the university." "Okay, I need you to get 2 cards for $200 each worth of physical Google Play gift card. Scratch off the back code and attach me clear pictures of all the cards showing me the codes to me here. Hope this is clear?" And I said, "I can just bring them to you. I don't mind. I'm in the meeting right now and won't be out of this meeting anytime soon. I can just slide them under the door of your office. I don't mind. I'm in the meeting." "Oh, fine." I said, "Okay." She said, "Let me know if you were able to help." So I write back again and I say, "I've never bought these before. Do you know if the Cloud9 store has Google Play cards?" She says, "I'm not sure about Cloud9 selling Google Play gift cards. You can go there to confirm." Well, it's going to be a little hard to go to the Cloud9 store considering it's a fictional place from the show Superstore. But I tell her that I'll try anyway, and I say I'm on my way. But I'm really just sitting at home eating M&Ms. So I decide to play with this scammer a little more, and I say...
And again, out of a big bowl, like we know this Sunday. I love the big bowl of M&Ms.
Oh, M&Ms. Right.
But yeah, so it's when someone asks you for Google Play cards and asks you to send them a photo of the scratchy bit. Yeah.
Well, they're obviously a fraud. They're not like the honourable ones where you must supply your credit card numbers, which I must remind you to still haven't checked out. Of course, they're always the honourable ones. It's the Google Play cards is the real way they do it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Now, the funny thing about this is, I don't know if you've seen the Jim Browning and all those ones. You probably have, Cheesy. And there's one where they've got the guy in one of those dodgy call centres who's doing that whole Google Play card thing. And Jim had already hacked into the guy's Facebook and had pictures of him, which he presented back to him. And you could actually hear the moments on the YouTube channel or the YouTube run where the guy's heart breaks because he suddenly got pictures of himself up, because they're quite smart-arsey up until the earlier stages where they don't think you know where they are. But as he had found his ID and revealed everything to him, you could just hear the voice drop, "Oh, no." And then the guy went troppo, calling him a bench child and a mother child and all those usual insulting things. But the other thing too with the Indian call centres, a majority of people from India hate them as much as we do, because now it's really tricky to get work if you've got an Indian accent, and it's the 0.00001% of arseholes are giving the whole country a bad image. So if they actually got caught by the population at large, their life would not be pleasant. So it's a high risk game that
I have a
playing
similar,
that game right now.
I actually have a similar story. As everyone knows, I have several pen pals all over the world.
Right.
And one of my pen pals is an actual Nigerian prince. And yes, and he has a similar problem. He's been telling me this story that that he like the common scam, right? The common scam story that actually happened to him. His uncle actually did kill his father, the king, and ascended the throne illegally, and he's trying to escape, but just like the scam says, his uncle, his evil uncle, actually did block all of his bank accounts. And he actually does have the plan that anyone who is not affiliated with him, anyone, doesn't matter who, can help him unlock his bank account by transferring ownership to that one random person. It's some weird law they have there, and he's been looking for people on Facebook and on email, but the thing is, because of that scam, nobody believes him, and he can't access his many millions of dollars. Of course, I can't help him because I'm a pen pal of him. I'm affiliated with him, so it's by this weird law, because I'm a pen pal, I have some kind of official royal status. I'm sort of the royal pen pal, and that is why I unfortunately can't do it. But I really hope that someone might be able to help him, because I really feel for the guy.
Well, perhaps we could start a fund like Nigerian Princes Matter. Do you think that could be it? Because obviously the scamming princes have given the good prince a bad name. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, exactly. Especially the Nigerian princes whose evil uncles have killed their fathers.
Well, look, it's probably a bit belated, but I think we can probably help him out. But the bottom line of it is, it's going to be after tomorrow. It'll come to an out, because after Cheesy's speakeasy show, the end of the world as we know it. In fact, there's been people with sandwich boards all day walking around saying the end of the world is nigh. So, I mean, if that's not enough to go by. So I think we're going to have to kiss goodbye to our good Nigerian prince friend. But now, as you know, we've been offering insurance, of which Cheesy is one of our satisfied customers. Now, Cheesy, since you've been paying us the insurance money, you've had zero window breakages at your speakeasy. Isn't that correct? And that we can ensure people's windows don't get broken. Yep. Go on.
It's impressive that the day I took out that insurance, that the windows stopped being broken. I also haven't had any death threats. It's very effective.
That's good, because that's right. We have a original and clever way of letting people know that perhaps it's a little bit rude. So, yeah. And so, as you can see, there's a testimonial by Cheesy. So any of you who are possibly not expecting a window breakage, but there could be some coming, we would suggest this insurance, because it's probably better to get the insurance now, because we obviously can't pay for any of the windows that are broken in the next couple of days. So just to, just shout out to Wide and Toad and Renee and me, and well, Cheesy knows he's a satisfied customer, and Colin and Doctor and all those Facty and you guys, you probably do need to go for this window insurance.
And of course, our apocalypse relief program now limited offer. There's only a few play spaces left. It's only $3,000 per customer, and we now have a special kids package. We now have a special kids package where the price is exactly the same, but you get free ice cream.
Wow.
Yes.
That's big.
It might be a little
and
bit.
For the next.
It might be the ice cream from the ad, but you know.
Do you have to scoop it off that guy to eat it?
Oh dear, yeah. Look, I can't afford the therapy. In fact, any Russian hackers that have gone through my camera actually need therapy, so I've heard. But that's why you don't hack people's webcams anymore. And yeah, Cheeky, you really should put some clothes on too. This turning up for the streams naked is not doing anyone any favors, especially yourself. So, there is collateral damage. Trust me, my friend. Okay,
but,
let's go.
There is still a little bit of the video left, actually.
Hold on, I just got to jump in one. A great scam that got overturned is the famous Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson. Oh, they had a video stolen, which shows them in a rather horizontal dancing position. And I believe the people who stole the video said, we're going to release this worldwide unless you give us whatever money. And they said, well, we'll just one-up you on that and gazump you and release it themselves, thus killing the market value of the porno tape of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. Is that the ultimate reverse scam? Oh, fuck you, we'll just make the money out of it ourselves. I love that. I thought that was
pretty good. That was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see how we resolve this, and it has actually an somewhat unexpected small twist to this video.
A quick question. Is next week's potluck still happening, or are we thinking of canceling because of the rise in COVID cases? And she sits for a minute or two and then finally responds and says, it's going to be canceled. Dang it. So I wait about 15 minutes and I say, okay, they have them. Okay, so where should I take them? Scratch off the back code and attach me a clear pictures of them on here. So then I make up some excuse about how my phone won't let me send the pictures. Becky asked, do you have them with you? And I really don't. Remember, I'm home eating M&Ms. But I said, yes, but my phone has been doing this thing lately where it won't send pictures. So to show her that it's not working, I Google search an image of someone holding a gift card. Then I create a fake screen grab that shows me trying to send her a picture of the card, but I conveniently place the text not working over the codes just to piss her off. And she says, let me have the codes. And I know that she wants the codes so that she can go redeem them in her account and go buy Bitcoin. Also, why do I keep saying her? It's probably some dude in Nigeria. But I thought, let's find out. So I say, I'll send you the picture through image share. Okay, what is image share, you ask? Well, it's a tool that I just made up. So what I did is I took the image of someone holding the Google Play gift card, then I uploaded it to my Imager account. Then I took that link over to Grabify.link, which is a tool that lets you create custom URLs that will track the IP address of whoever clicks on it. And they have a little extension that you can select called imageshare.best. So I create the URL, and then I send it to him. And now for the most exciting part of the video where we reveal the scammer's exact location. Baldwin Park, California. Wow, we got ourselves an American. All my fans from Nigeria and Ghana, you can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that we have our own scammers here in the US too. And then Becky says, I'll need the codes. Send the codes. I said, well, I need you to tell me when we're going to reschedule this potluck for. I've made enough chili to feed a small army. Becky says, I've got a single image of a conversation and a card. Okay, she still doesn't get that I know. So finally I say, hey, how's the weather in Baldwin Park? And she never wrote back after that, or he didn't write back, or whatever they are. But here's what we do know about this scammer. They've got an IP address putting them in Baldwin Park, California. They're using an iPhone on the AT&T network, but they're using a text now number. They've looked at the university's website and created a fake email impersonating a department chair, and they're using that fake email to spoof other employees in the university. At least they were until we reported it to the IT security team and blocked this person from emailing anybody else on campus. which means that Becky might be now coming for some of you. So learn from my mistake and double check the email address when you get a weird message from one of your contacts. It just may be an imposter from Baldwin Park, California, trying to scam you for a Google gift card. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope...
I love this guy. He makes good videos.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to throw one out that I actually threw out on Sunday, but it's such a good story. Cheese, you'll love it. But now the details are a bit fuzzy because I remembered it on the spot, but I've now got the proper memories of it. My old man, this was back in the sort of 40s, right, when he was being a young larrikin around a pub. A guy came into the pub and he's come up with the trench coat sort of thing on. He's opened up the trench coat. Hey, do you want to buy a watch? And he's got this like literal rack of watches inside his trench coat. And it's sort of looking a bit rather, well, shall we say, dubious. And my uncle, who's a pretty big boy, sort of says, oh, give us a look at that one. That looks like a good watch. And he's grabbed this sort of really expensive looking Rolex, one of those expandable band watches sort of things, you know, the one with, like a caterpillar track. And he basically puts the watch on and sort of, oh, yeah, that looks beautiful. And then sticks his hands in his pocket and says, thanks, mate. Thanks for the watch. And the guy says, what are you doing? He goes, oh, thanks for the watch. He goes, no, you're going to pay for it? No. Well, come on, you go. They're going to give it back or pay for it. No. You know what's going on. So do I. I'm keeping the watch. And the guy says, look, give me the watch back. Now, he then says, being a country pub, it's pretty small. He says, well, a local policeman's just sitting over there on the corner of the bar. What do you say we call him in? And the supposed dodgy watch salesman says, who? And he points to the guy on the corner of the bar. This guy makes a beeline straight for the cop, which is pretty weird. Runs over, starts talking, gesturing to the cop. He then reaches into his top pocket, hands the cop a little bit of paper. The copper looks at it, hands it back to him. They both walk over and said to my uncle, give him his watch back. And he says, what do you mean? It's a hot watch. No, it's not. The guy's actually a hawker. He's got a hawker's license. He's allowed to sell watches. This is legitimate. It was actually a legitimate watch salesman. But what they do is they go in pretending it's stolen because then you think you're getting a bargain. So it was a reverse grift. God. It wasn't hot at all. So he tried to grift the grifter. It wasn't a grifter. Boom, boom. There you go.
Wow.
Let's see. What was the other ones? What other little wonderful facts and figures did we have? We actually had quite a few things on the US stream. That's why I kind of forgot what we're doing tonight, because we did share a lot of it.
Oh, Boomer, you can't do that, man. You're giving everyone a bad name.
Yeah, I'm an influencer. There's no scam there. I told you that earlier. That's a legitimate business. The influencing.
Actually, the next video is actually another good example of the silent victims of the scams. It's the woman that's trying to give away free cruises.
Okay.
And yeah, here is her frankly touching story.
Congratulations, you have won. Congratulations, you have won a free. Does my top look all right? Maybe it's too much, because I can put these up if you like. Kind of looks like that. Hi, I'm Lillian James, and I give away free cruises for a living. When I first took this job, I didn't imagine it would be so difficult. First off, I do have to use a different accent because my boss says that it's a little hard to understand me. Congratulations, you have won a free cruise. Please provide. I'm at work right now. I can't. You people never quit. I know, but I've got your name on this list because you've won a free cruise. But you did. It says right here, you've won. You people never quit? Well, sir, I don't appreciate that language, but you know what? You have a nice day. And that is my day. I think that it's people these days, and people just aren't taking vacations and time away with their family. It's people's mentality of a lot of people are scared of the water. I think it's also an issue with the phones. And I've been talking to my manager over and over because sometimes I will call and it will ring like the phone's proper ringing. Somebody will pick up and I will hardly even breathe and they will hang up and the phone lines will go dead. So I think it's a problem, like a technological problem, rather than like somebody like hanging up on me. I'll just go through the numbers one at a time, give everybody a call, have a little quick chat, and then try to give away some free cruises.
Do you know that free cruises are one of the biggest scams going around?
I don't know what you're talking about.
A lot of people receive phone calls with something that claims to be a free cruise.
They're probably free cruises then.
No, so it's usually a scam to try and steal someone's identity.
Who's calling them?
Yeah.
What do you do? You say
What would you
yes.
say if you realized people would be surprised to know that you're giving away cruises for real?
I'll tell you what, I am pissed off. Pardon my language, but heck. If they are going to take something as beautiful as a free cruise and they are going to turn it into, what do you say, identity theft or something? Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They've tainted the free cruise industry. You think everybody thinks our cruise is a scam?
I would say yes to that.
Okay, I know how I'm going to call. Here, I'm going to call Larry, David. Here we go. All right, Larry. This is not a scam. Congratulations, you. Sir, I said it wasn't a scam. No, I see that there's lots of scams. This one's not a scam. That's why I said it in the first place. That's why this is the first thing I said to you. I know that. I just found that out today. I'm looking through the Google. I saw all them. But no, this one's not. I don't know you in that way, and I don't think you should speak about my family in that way. Well, you better believe I'm going to take your number off our list because I don't want to talk to you either. Because I said it wasn't a scam. It's the first thing that came out of my mouth when you opened the damn phone. What you think? I'm going to lie to you first thing? Oh, y'all are crazy.
Yes. So yeah, that poor
all
woman.
those hardworking free cruise ladies are wasting their day because of those scammers destroying the industry. Oh, right. Now, look, there's been a bit of an issue come up in the chat. Woden Toad appears to be getting into some sort of territorial wars. Now, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself there, Woden Toad. I'm sure we can negotiate a fair and equitable protection territory sort of borders. We'll work out things. It's okay, Woden Toad. You don't need to quite get into the threatening just yet. You know, we'll sort something out, I'm sure. So obviously Woden Toad is in the insurance business as well, by the looks of things.
Well, you know.
Woden Toad, how are you for blue whale accidental insurance? Did you know that there is a statistic that says blue whales might crush you at some point? And are you covered for that? Does your existing insurance cover you for that? If a blue whale was to fall out the sky right now, would your car be insured? If not, dial 0800 75.
Yes. Oh, wow.
You know, Cheesy, you've got a bit of a natural flair for this. We could have some work for you in a, well, it's not the kangaroo gang, of course, because they don't exist anymore, but I'm sure a man of your talents is probably a little bit wasted where you are.
Let's try this out.
The global gang.
Let's go on. Sorry. Let's try this out. Would you like to buy Cheesemondo's natural charm? You would for 2 easy payments of $79.95. See, you could do it with anything.
Yeah.
Well,
I could make a fortune.
Well, we could make a fortune. We could make a fortune there. You obviously can't do this by yourself. You do need the leg insurance. You must remember that too. So you can't get too. Yeah, you'll need your minders. We're quite sure, but we do have a good business plan suitable.
After your extra extended trial period, we might eventually pay you minimum wage.
I aspire to minimum wage.
The one thing I love about the term minimum wage, what you love about the term minimum wage is that first word, minimum. That's very nondescript, isn't it? Could minimum be 0? If your heater's on minimum, it's usually turned off.
Well,
or very lukewarm.
Listen. In the world of the giant washing machine in space, the only safe harbor for the apocalypse, the minimum wage is 0.
Well, yeah, look, I do need to warn everyone that if anyone does get a message from me about canned meat, please don't open it because it is spam. That's a general public service announcement there.
Oh, Boomer. Now I've had it. I've been listening to your crap for like an hour and 45 minutes, and I think I'm getting enough of you.
Right. Well, look, I'm just going to add that when I was young, I really wanted to play guitar badly, and after years of hard work, practice, and determination, I can now play guitar really, really badly.
Well, you must have had a great teacher.
Okay. Okay, you want to wrap this up soon because I've got more and I'm not afraid to use them.
Well, we could once more tell you about our wonderful deal of only a couple of hours of your eyeballs. You can subscribe to the NASA Bunker 33 and watch the Bunker Bitches next Sunday.
Yeah. Look, Woden Toad, I've got to look more into this titular suffocation. I'd like to be a test pilot for that. I believe titular suffocation is probably very underdone and will easily offer my services. In fact, I could do some curvature experiments in that too, but titular suffocation is something we don't cover, Woden Toad. We need to talk. We should do this in perhaps DM. Oh my God. 2-for-1 sale. Oh, you really don't want to go there. Okay. Sorry, composure. Okay, where were you? We were in the process of shilling out Bunker 33 and Cheeky Mondo's rather unbroken windowed speakeasy, and that's happening in about just under 24 hours, isn't it, Cheeky?
Yes, it is. It is about approximately 24 hours from now.
That is
awesome. Right, and I actually...
With a supernatural story, go for it.
I actually will jump in tomorrow if I'm awake for it, because I do have one that I didn't bring up last time, because obviously you needed to know the story about the first water balloon artillery above all. And after the birth of that particular artillery, which was UFO related, I might point out, I do actually have one that's an interesting story that's it's a bit of a question mark for me, who is probably, I have my master's degree in cynicism, but this is actually a pretty good one and almost within the boundaries of your theme too. So if I'm around, look out. And if there's no one else there, well, obviously everyone hates you or something like that. It else is worth giving a bit of a shield to.
That's so flattering.
Yeah, well,
you've already linked the show with the end of the world tomorrow as well. Apparently my show is responsible for the end of the world, which is makes it about the worst show on YouTube, doesn't it?
Or the best, or the best, that God is like, that show was so good, that's it. We're ending this.
Imagine a YouTube show so awful that God himself said, no, screw this, I'm done.
We're trying. We are trying. We are trying to get the bar down there. It's a hard place to get to. It's a little bit like trying to tip all the losers in a football season. It's actually as hard as tipping all the losers as it is to tip all the winners. So I don't know. There's something about that. As you strive for total lowness, it seems harder. It's a tricky one to get. So anyway, who else is worth shilling? Who else do we threaten to shill if they don't pay us severe amounts of money?
Barman with Barman, of course, with his See You Next Tuesday show.
Yes. And we have Colin lurking in the chat too. He does seem to struggle spelling opening too, so we might like to perhaps kick in and get Colin some spelling lessons, spell checker, or something like that. But yes, you'll find there are two N's. Actually, maybe Colin doesn't have enough N's left in his vocabulary, and he's cutting corners. He won't even spell things properly for us now.
I mean, let's be fair. His name is an opening, so.
Well, yeah, okay. We've kept it so clean up until now.
Well, you
know, this was almost a stream that could have been in a church.
Well, since I don't really have anything to shill anyway, maybe I'm just bringing up the memory of that. You know, we were making jokes like this. About a year back, weren't we? We were making jokes like this about a year ago, and that is about the time when we met Quiddies, who was supposed to be here.
Okay, so I believe I looked on the manifesto, and it looks like we found the old clip of when we first met Quiddies. Was at that emotional moment that he's going to really hate not seeing now, and he's probably going to want to kill us. But it's a special moment, isn't it?
It is. And yeah, that is the video where we were running out with. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Cheesy, thanks for coming. I hope you had fun.
We're going to
thank you for having me.
We're going to thank Quiddies for not coming. We're going to thank Quiddies for not coming. Where were you, Quiddies? What did you do? Running errands? Okay. No, he was supposed to be here, Colin. He just asked if he's quit. No, he hasn't. He's obviously avoiding this emotional video of him. Yeah, thanks for coming along, Cheesy. You're always a pleasure to work with. We're in our new time slot now. We're going to be doing this one hopefully a bit more if we can survive it. Our Sunday's got a bit quiet after daylight savings because everyone seemed to be burnt out after the weekends. And that extra hour one way and the other way seemed to take it 2 hours past it. And yeah, all you guys were dead. And we thought, okay, we'll jump in the middle of the week and separate our US stream from here and see how we go. And this more appeals to the Americans and the English time zones and Australian insomniacs, which is me and probably, I don't know, ice addicts, security guards, and people who get up early in the morning to water their garden. Baby boomers, I guess. So we're in a new time frame, hopefully from here on.
Yeah.
So what do you say? We call it quits and get the fuck out of here, guys.
Let's go with Quiddies. So we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Adios. Why are you crying?
You guys are scaring me. You're sick. And I hope that you never get well. I mean, I've never been loved so much. And it feels so good. Thank you.